بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس تأمرون بالمعروف وتنهون عن المنكر وتؤمنون بالله صدق الله العظيم اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Also with the greetings of peace and blessings, I give you the glad tidings and congratulate you that we are in the month of blessing, the month of the birth of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the mercy for all mankind and all universe, and it is through him what droplet of wisdom and knowledge this world is benefiting everywhere, and we are also, and may Allah Azza wa Jal bless him and send infinite peace and blessings upon him forever and ever and ever, enable us to benefit from his teachings and his legacy, which we are trying to practice and carry on. Today, as you can see from the screen, that I want myself and yourself to know that how do we fit in this world and what is our mission and what we are doing, how does it contribute? Remember that Allah Jalla Majduhu, the Lord Almighty, the Lord of heavens and earth and the mighty throne, have infinite names and qualities, infinite names and attributes and qualities, not 99, but they are, as I said, without any number. Imagine now, in Allah's knowledge, He chose one name to represent His system and His message. And that name was His blessed name, As-Salam. As-Salam, what does it mean? It means the peace giver and the source of peace. So imagine from infinite, not 100, not million, not billion, not trillion, not zillions. From all those names, He chose one name to represent His deen, His religion. So this is the origin of this blessed name. As-Salam is the origin of the Islam, the peace and security. So this means that He knew that actually that's what we would need on this face of the earth. Why? Because freedom of will be unleashed on this small planet. Although the vast universe, there's billions galaxies, and this earth is nothing really compared to that. But on this small planet, freedom of will, what does it mean? One person can destroy whole of the world who have this nuclear arsenal at their disposal, for example. Freedom of will, one person can destroy life of one person, 1 million person. As you are seeing in the world from many, many centuries, wars, and now modern days we think that we are living in a civilized world, but there is war going on in Palestine, there is war going on in Kashmir, there is war going on in Yemen, there is war going on in Ukraine, there is war going on at the other countries, other parts of the world. And then there are wars going within the country, within tribes, between families, and between husband and wife, brothers and sisters, and organizations are at war, meaning they are negatively competing to outdo or each other. So I would like you to just to focus on this. This is our globe, our earth, which we share. Muslim, like our brother Councillor Shahid was saying, is really means the peacemaker. It's not to do with any tribe, any particular religion as it known, because this has been from the very beginning, from Adam al-Islam to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's not named after any person. Like, for example, I have a name and then religion is named after me. There are many religions which are named after people. This is the religion which is named after an idea, after a concept. You see, for example, which religion do you follow? I follow this. Yes, this person name. So this Islam is not known as Muhammadanism, like Christendom, like Buddhist, named after those personalities who founded them or who are their leaders. But the strange matter is that this religion is not named after Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's Islam, it's idea, it's a concept, it's a philosophy given that peace and security, the one who withholds peace and security, not of his own family, I am British, I am American, these are lines. A Muslim, a peace holder, a peace giver is universal. He is beyond actually even this globe, thinking about we shouldn't destroy Mars. We should establish peace on the moon. There shouldn't be fight in the space, etc., etc. Or in the vast actually kingdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it's much more than beyond this actually, this is British, this is tribal, this is this person, this is this. No, beyond all these, beyond these religions after names. That is the fundamental, you may say, integrity. So now you see on the face of the earth, there is terrorism, we know, where there's illiteracy, there's corruption, there's murders, there are wars going on, disease, purposelessness, boredom, child abuse, poverty, all these things are happening on this face of the earth. Now, I was saying yesterday that there are many countries which are suffering, which are poor. The public is suffering. They don't have enough to eat. Why? The governments are eating up the public fund. The governments there are eating the public fund, the public resources. They are eating them up. They are filling their bank accounts in offshore companies, and their public is suffering. They don't have less resources. Be it actually Africa is very rich in resources. Asia, the weather, the other systems, they are even better than Europe actually. So why are they suffering? Why are they known as third world? They're not third world country. Whole globe is the first and only world. It is third class leaders and people who are actually governing them. They are not third world country. Every country is first class, is the first class country. Land, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed every land with different blessings. Some have oil. We see in desert, what can you, this land doesn't have anything. And we found that it has the most precious minerals, oils and other things. So there's no third world country. There's third class leaders who, what do? They are actually utilizing whole of the resources of the country and think they own, that's their bank account, and they are filling in their pockets and certain other individuals. That's why people are suffering, because some leaders are actually, you may say, using the public fund for their personal gain. And others, like welfare states, like we are in UK, I was giving, the government is not, but the public is looting the public fund. So that comes a long line of frauds, of benefit fraud and all these actually things which we do here. The public is abusing the public fund. So still the governments are integral, so people are surviving. But in some countries, the governments are using public, so the situation is much worse there actually. The public is suffering. Anyway, so this is what you can see on the screen. But what do we do? How do I fit in? What can I do? I am powerless individual trying to survive myself. I am a weak person, male or female. I'm a weak person. What can I do? Well, see in the next slide. Naturally, any sane person, any person who has some thinking, some sympathy, empathy. He thinks, or she thinks, this is not right what's happening. Oh, something needs to be changed. How can I end this? Think about these questions. How can I establish peace? Nothing, the governments are not listening to me. No one, even my own family will not listen to me. What can I do? So there are two types of approaches. One is the wise and one is the unwise reaction to it. So let's say, so the two types of reactions, the wise and the unwise. The unwise one is to always shift blame on someone else, circumstances, environment, and things out of our control. So if only the leaders were not corrupt, we would not be in this situation. If the leaders of Security Council and UN were very good, we wouldn't have war, we would not have this, etc. Then we'll be able to remove all these problems and things. These people then become demotivated and depressed as they feel helpless to change the system and leadership. If only this, that's their mindset. And because I don't have any jurisdiction, power, leverage in the UN or British government or any police, anything, so I become depressed, so I cannot do. So what do? So I just actually say, oh, this is a law of jungle in the face of the earth. Just catch whatever you can. Let me also get share, grab lawfully to fraud, through actually lawful means, unlawful means. Let me enjoy life, whatever I can, because everyone is doing, so I can't do anything. So demotivated. So people become demotivated, they resort to extremism, they resort to unlawful activities, because they think they are hopeless, they think nothing can be done, or these leaders will always be like this. People will always do wrong things, and so what shall we do? So some resort to unlawful activity, and some resort to extremism. That's where extremism and terrorism is born. When they think we cannot do in lawful matter, we can't do anything, so they say we'll kidnap people, we'll explode bombs, we'll inflict wars. Now you've seen war happening more than almost now, actually 6 months, 7 months, or more than a year actually. What is the result of the war in Ukraine? Are people benefiting? Are we benefiting? All these high prices which we are suffering, the milk has gone up, the petrol has gone up, it is because of these wars mostly happening. So we can't say, sitting in an island like a UK, oh, it doesn't bother us what people are suffering. No, it will come to your doorstep as well, the effect of it is. The war is happening in Kashmir from 70 years. What's the benefit? People are suffering, their thing. So when people see that nothing is changing and we can't change, then they resort to extremism. That's the unwise reaction, which brings more destruction, actually. So what's the wise reaction? As human beings, we are responsible for our own lives. Our behavior is a function of our decisions, not our conditions. So our behavior is function of our decisions. So the wise reaction is, in order to solve the problems of the world, what practical steps do I need to take to get there? Rather than blaming circumstances, governments, others, they look to see what they can achieve themselves and always have a positive outlook and a mentality. I can change things. I can create things, make the change. Example is, for example, there's a person, a young man, boy on a beach, and sometime at the shores the waves come and they bring fish, other things. In this case, starfish. They leave it on the sand and the waves go back, so they actually suffer and starve to death. So there were hundreds of starfish, let's say, on the beach. So there's one person, one child. He was picking up one, throwing it in the sea. Picking up the second, throwing it in the sea. But there were hundreds and hundreds. Some passerby, he said, "Oh, young man, you cannot save them all. You cannot save them. It's no use, actually. It won't make any difference what you are doing." He picked up one starfish and he threw and he said, it will make difference to this one. It will make a difference of a world and life and death to this one which I have thrown. Meaning the mindset that what you can do. So now, just to summarizing this, what I mentioned before. So there are two circles. Matters within one's control. Circles of matters which is within one's control, circle of matters beyond one's control. So there are two things. Things which you can do, things which are beyond your control. So what you do, the circle matters within one's in control, the circle matters of beyond one's control, they have difference in it. Things which you can change and things which you cannot change. So the circle of matters within one's control is filled with B's. I can change my character. I can clean up my neighborhood. And the circle, the other one, which is, if only I had a better job, I would not take bribes. If only I had better leaders, we wouldn't be in, meaning these are the mindsets which develop. So when those people like yourself, we want you to be in these people, when you are doing things which within your control, you are really making a positive change and pushing and affecting yourself and the atmosphere around you and society towards goodness, because you're doing something, actually. And if you do the other things without your control, then actually, obviously, you think, I have no control, so you suffer more and more, and even you suffer yourself, and the circle of your choice even become actually slower and slower. So this mission, this prophetic mission of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Rabiul Awwal, the Prophet Islam came. In Rabiul Awwal, he entered the city of Medina. Mission and purpose. What? Portrait of perfection, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, radiant embodiment of boundless compassion, spreading benevolent embrace to touch the hearts of all, a rahmah, a mercy for all. So he is the practical model for us, which even Muslim, non-Muslim alike, they have considered him the greatest ever leader, with character, with behavior, with honesty, with truth, and led politically and internationally, and dealt with all kinds of these problems. The Quran is the final version of the divine message, starting with Adam alayhi salam to Tawrat, Bible, Injil, Gospel. This is the final. So this is their theory. The sacred act of the most noble one's mission. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam desire was to establish peace on whole of the earth. And the message, and it's not that actually changing the religions of people. In Medina tul Munawwara, in the Prophet Islam time, there were Jewish people living, there were Christian living peacefully, there were people of other religions living. That's their personal choice, whatever they do. Our purpose is to present the message and also create the environment which is peaceful. So with unwavering devotion and resolute purpose, we should be as humble followers of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, embark on a sacred mission. What is that sacred mission? Within this divine discourse that discovered to blueprint of life's purpose and timeless manuscript elucidating the art and science of achievement of life, meaning that actually in whole of this spectrum and this life, to discover the true purpose of life. What is the purpose of life? I mentioned to you in the beginning, actually, in Surah Al-Asr, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned. The summary of it is to beautifying your relationship with the divine, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with the Creator, and beautifying your relationship with the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Jalla Majduhu. So that's the summary of Islam in 2 sentences. Beautifying your relationship with the divine in the vertical sense, and beautifying relationship with the creation, from human being to trees, to ants, to dogs, to everything actually there. So at the moment, we as an organization, mashallah, the students of Jamia and others, they have reached, and centers have been developed in these countries, Canada, America, United Kingdom, Denmark, Morocco, and Pakistan, Bangladesh. So this green shows where we reached. This yellow shows where our delegations have visited and done dawah work, but we don't have a center there, but we have people there. So the yellow one shows this. Places planned to visit. This one is the orange one now. At the very time now I'm speaking, in Australia, our brothers are there, passing the same message to Muslim and non-Muslim in Australia. So they are there, and New Zealand. People almost, it changes, it increases day by day, every day. 8 billion people live on the face of the earth. Still, 6 billion does not have even the message of Islam, in spite of all this technology, in spite of our numbers, because we are not doing our job, actually. Look, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam had 100,000 and more Sahabis, and they spread the message to 1/3 of the world in their lifetime. And here we are living, having all at our disposal, and still 6 billion people even have not heard what is Islam, or the true picture of Islam. What they hear sometime from media, that's the wrong image they get. 5 billion almost are in Asia, 1.4 billion are in Africa, 750 million in Europe, in South America, about 500 million, and other Oceania, a population of 44 million. So what we intend, and what you should be intending to do, and you are taught to do, is to cover whole this world by thinking of by 2028, by 1450 Hijrah, that this message, at least of peace, can be shared with every continent, with every major city. They accept or not, but that's what it is within our choice. So this way, you don't need to fight, you don't need to adopt any other means. It's with wisdom, with knowledge, with your own embodiment of character, your behavior, your dealing. You see, initially, one of the Shayukh, Sheikh Bahauddin Zakaria Multani Sohrawardi Rahimahullah, he used to send preachers to different countries. And he said that when you go to that country, like we visited Malaysia and we asked people, how did Islam reach here? They said, through the students of Bahauddin Zakaria Multani Rahimahullah, who is buried in Multan. Those times, he used to advise them. His students were plumbers, other workers as well. Some were working in different fields, handcrafts and things. But he would say, when you reach that country, do not preach about Islam. They say, well, that's the reason why you are sending us, and how shall we not preach about Islam? He said, do not preach about Islam, say a word about Islam and Allah and the Prophet of Islam, until you have won the trust of people through your financial dealings, and the hearts of people through your character. Once you won their heart through character and your trust through your financial matters, then they ask, where did you get this character and this trust and this amana and this truthfulness, honesty? Then mention Islam and Allah and His Messenger. Otherwise, you are going to do a disservice to Islam. Because they will say, okay, if this person, I say, I am Muslim, knocking on the door of the neighbor, please become Muslim, I want to take you into paradise. Okay, good and well. And the next week, you're fighting over a bin at the back, or a car parking space, or actually disturbing the neighbor, whatever. So how will that person understand that that this person want to give me a paradise but doesn't want to give me a parking space, or actually bin? He can't let me use a bin. So you are doing then a disservice to Islam if you do the verbal actually speech and your character. That's what Imam Ja'far as-Sadiq rahmatullah alayhi said to his students when they were graduating. He said, do not use tongue, speech for preaching. So they said, oh master, how will we then invite people towards the truth? He said, through character and behavior. And when you've done character and behavior, then actually top it up like with speech, like icing on cake. You don't, what we are doing it, all our dawah is based on speech, and then we top it up with little bit of our action, very small action. That's not effective. Salt, pepper, spices, they are small number, small amount is required as such. Anyway, this you are seeing, that was the wish of the Prophet Islam, and that is the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which He wants that whole of the life on the face of the earth, from animal kingdom to human kingdom, jinnat, everyone lives peacefully. They can practice their own religion, their own ideology, but not harming others. That is what Islam is. The wars in Islam also was for peace when in the previous century. Like we have police force here. What is a police force? We can't say, oh, the police force does this, the army killed here this. Well, they are also here to establish peace. Sometime actually there. But that is the job or role of governments and meaning authorities, not our job actually. If we want to do something like this, we can get into the police force, we can get into army, we can get into government, we can then actually utilize our powers in lawful parameters, whatever is allowed. But otherwise, without that, you are an agent of peace through wisdom, through speech, through behavior. And this is how you want to see whole of the world green, meaning actually with peace prevails, where people are living peacefully. They live or not, that's not your problem, meaning your contribution towards it actually. So how do you do it? Now, the strategy we teach is, firstly, know yourself. If you don't know yourself, then you will be confused. Usually say there's identity crisis. In Islam, it's very easy. Your identity is spirit. Spirit is not a man, not a woman, not a gay, not lesbian, or anything. Spirit, Ruh is Ruh. So there's no confusion. Ruh is Ruh. Your identity is servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These are identities which comes with the body. That is given after when you're a person. So know yourself. What is your Ruh? What is your body? What is your mind? What is your heart? What is your self? So the 5 entities in every human being. They have a body, they have mind, they have heart, they have soul, they have spirit. So knowing the Creator, that you should be sure, I say to even non-Muslim brothers and sisters, that you know you've not created yourself. And you know you've not created them. Who have done it? Have your father, mother, everyone, the government, and no one has done it. So the possibility is, or other possibility is, nothing has created them. That is one possibility. Okay, if nothing has, I have not done it, nothingness cannot create, then there have to be a power who have actually, you can name it whatever, but actually that there is a power actually which has created. Okay. So knowing the Creator and knowing the creation is there to test you so that you can be good to them and react in a best way to them and actually succeed and reflect the sifat of Allah. You see, Islam is about reflecting the qualities of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Many people ask, how can we be friends of Allah? Allah is merciful. Reflect mercy on creation. You will also become a friend of Allah. Allah is generous. You also become generous. Allah is modest. You also practice modesty. Allah is a giving personality, you also become giving personality. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is gentle, as Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Inna Allaha rafiqun wa yuhibbu rifq. Allah is gentle and He loves gentleness. So when you reflect this gentleness, this quality, this attribute of Allah, you are becoming closer and closer and closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala jalla majduhu. Know your guide, which is Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and know your purpose. Your purpose is to become kings and queens forever and ever in the kingdom of heaven, and trying to also establish peace on the face of the earth, which you are in, and me are in test. Allah wants every one of us. You want 10-bedroom mansion or palace. Allah wants much more. A mansion, a palace which has 70,000 bedrooms or 70,000 doors. In Jannah it's described, they're so big palaces. Allah wants much more for us. You want a car, Allah wants much more, higher things. You want health, Allah wants perfect health for us. You want life, you don't want to be ill, you want to life, long life, 100, 200 years. Allah wants millions and billions year life. So it's not that Allah Azza wa Jal, the Creator, wants us to keep us lower, but He wants to give us higher things. But in this world, this is a world of test. This world, even if I make you now king and queen of whole of the world, you will not be able to achieve satisfaction and peace. Because your life will expire, illnesses will come, age will come. So this life is such that if today, without any confrontation, without any competition, you are the king and the queen of whole of the world, not only of UK, Europe. What will you do after 100 years? When you reach 100 years age, 90 years age? You have all the gold, silver, the flying planes, the flying cars, and everything. So this is the reality of this world. So, and then knowing how to fulfill your purpose. So the purpose is filled with, as we teach here, with the purification of the body, the mind, the heart and soul. And that's reflected on whole of the earth, actually. So let's say we want to establish peace on whole of the, whole of the earth. That's what we want. That's our mission. That is actually, you are playing a role in there. How do we start? Then you begin establishing peace in your country. That's the way. You can't, if you're not in Australia there, how can you do? You don't have any authority and things. So you start with if you want to establish peace in your country where you're living in UK, then do it in your state and county first. That's where you begin. If you want to do your county, your state to be peaceful, prosperous, then what you do? You begin establishing peace in your city. If you want peace in your city, how do? You start establishing peace in your area, your very area. And if you want peace in your area, then actually establish peace in your locality. Your very locality, cleanliness, crime, other things, actually you can help, whatever. If you want to establish peace in your locality, then begin it establishing by peace in your street. Look at the people who live in the street. Keep the street clean. Look after the elderly people. Look, no crime happens. No one is suffering. People need to go. Very easy you can do. At least you have a... And if you want to establish peace in your street, then you should begin by establishing peace in your family. Street, being president, prime minister, councillor, no use if my own family, my own locality, my own is actually in tatters and there's nothing there. So that's not the right approach. So begin establishing peace in your family. If you want peace in the family, then start with yourself. Firstly, within yourself. Let your tongue, ears, eyes, hands, feet, stomach, private parts work, engage in positive activity. At least there's peace within yourself. Because only then, if I don't have water, I cannot give anyone water. If I don't have peace within myself, how can I give it to my spouse, my children, the world? You should begin by establishing peace in your body. And if you want in the body, then you should begin establishing peace in your mind. Your mind become purified with positive thoughts, with good mindset, prophetic mindset. And if you want peace there, then you should begin by establishing peace in your heart. What type of moral traits you have? Is it jealousy? Is it love? Is it arrogance? Is it humbleness? And if you want there, then actually you can, over even emotional self. Emotional self means nafs, your emotions, anger, love, meaning establishing peace, managing, which is called emotional intelligence, how to deal with emotion. We don't know. So if anyone comes angry, it's a destruction. Anyone become in love, that's a destruction. How? I'm angry, I will break, use my stick, throw this in the house like it happens sometimes. People throw glasses, plates, and everything is broke because the person doesn't know how to manage their emotion of anger. Nor we know the emotion of love, how to control that. If someone comes in love, oh, I come in love with this woman, oh, she is married, oh, it doesn't matter, I'm in love, it doesn't matter. He might actually message her or seduce her, or the woman might seduce the man because I've fallen in love, and destroy both families. So if you don't know how to manage emotions, the emotions will destroy you. You won't actually achieve anything. So simple. Start with your emotions, purification of the nafs, heart, mind, body, family, locality, area, city, country, then continents, and then the earth. And a person can actually. So earth, your individual body is also an earth. It's made of dust. It's made of the materials which are on the face of. So one is the earth, the globe, and one is the earth from head to toe. This earth has 7 continents in the world. Your earth also has 7 continents. The tongue, eyes, ears, hands, stomach, private parts, feet. If you want peace here on the 7 continents, the earth, start from there, and then you can work your way onwards. You reach the purpose, or you may say goal or not. Allah is not concerned. Allah says you should do good intention and start the effort with starting with yourself, then with your family. Then, as I said, we have intention of reaching whole of the world, even non-Muslim, even atheists. Because atheists come, they say, oh, what can we take about? We don't believe in God. We say, do you believe in peace? Yes, let's establish peace within ourselves and on the face of the earth. Let's be partners in that. If you don't believe in God, that's your issue. But we will present the message to you. But that doesn't mean we should cause chaos and on the face of it. If you are, I say to them, if you are atheists, we believe there is a paradise in the heavens and we will get there. You don't believe, so you have to make paradise here. You should be more concerned about peace than even us, because we have hope in the getting to paradise, life after death, and you say there is nothing, so you should be more stronger partner in peace. Okay, the ibadah is a personal matter, the worship, you believe or not, but we can work. So on this we can bring every religion, even non-religion, faith people, non-faith people, Muslims together, that we should use our body positively, our mind positively, our heart actually positively, our soul positively, and our capabilities positively, at least to make this life actually peaceful. And if you want to work for the next life, okay, Islam has a full system for that as well. So that is where you fit in, my daughters and brothers and sisters and who are sitting, that you fit in there, you can contribute positively, starting with yourself, helping us, reaching the 4 corners of the globe, and inshallah, whilst doing that, whilst establishing this, if we die, we are successful. You look, 124,000 plus minus prophets came. Have whole the world changed? No, but they were all successful. Because Allah Azza wa Jal just wanted to see that what they have done, what was ever in their capacity. So this, mashallah, in UK Academy of Islamic Sciences, what you are learned, you are part, you are the force of the peace. You are the soldier in that army of peace, positively establishing, as I said, the way is the strategy is very, very clear. There is no, you don't need to even fight for someone, you don't need to go into even election or oppose the governments or anything, just what you do. And if you want, you can lawfully participate in any agency as well, that is up to you. But we have a program, a strategy which you can follow to establish peace without actually interfering in anyone or opposing anyone or competing with anyone negatively. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala firstly enable myself and then yourself actually to participate and be a participant in this noble cause. There's no organization, you should become member or anything. If you want peace, you are part of it, and you can see how you can do it, and alhamdulillah, you can be our partner. Governments can be partners, people can be partners, everyone can be partners, because there is no competition, there is no stake. Whole of the world and the people of the whole of the world are your family, and whole of the world is your home, and you want to make it peaceful. And that is where UK Academy of Islamic Sciences also plays a small role of teaching, and then the others. Jazakumullah sanal jaza, subhanakallahumma bihamdika, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruk wa natubu ilayk. If you want to become part of that, there is the website, and also you can also inshallah participate.